me. Wave at me if you can see me, everybody. How you guys doing? What's up? Happy, what day is today? Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Anyhow, so good to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to train your group here, Tina and Kelly. This is awesome to share. You guys obviously have got a lot of great stuff going on. It's crazy. I don't know how many network marketing companies do like big events within like 2 or 3 months of one another. I was speaking with you guys in Miami, and then boom, you guys had another event this last week. You got another one coming up. So obviously things are going extremely well. But what I want to do is help things go extremely, really well. So let's talk about that tonight. And the subject that I want to talk about is really my favorite subject to talk about in network marketing, and it's recruiting up the socioeconomic chain. How do you recruit talent? I want to go back a little bit, and because I know there's probably some people that are relatively new to network marketing, and even in the comments you can type. I'm curious to just know, like, if you would, like, because I see I got the chat thing open. Like, how long have you been in network marketing? Put it in like 2 years or 1 month or 3 months or 20 years. I mean, it'd be interesting for me to just kind of see. Wow, we got some experienced people, some new people, 10 years, 25 years, holy smokes, 30, 18, all these veterans. My goodness gracious. Less than 2, a couple years, never, 7 months, 3. So we got a lot of variety here. So, all right, so check this out. Here's our natural human tendency in network marketing. And this is just kind of the way it is. Our natural tendency when we first get started in network marketing business, and all of you veterans know this, that we feel like it's easier to kind of recruit down the socioeconomic chain. It's like when you're new and you're kind of unsure of yourself and you're just getting started and you're trying to find your feet, we kind of perceive it to be easier to talk to our, broke friends and family, for example, rather than the really successful person that we know that is on our, what list that is? What's that list? You guys can type it in there. What's that list called? The what list? Come on, what's the list? Yes, the chicken list, right? And the chicken list. So why do we call it the chicken list? Because we're chicken to call them because of how we feel that they might react or respond to us. And so, it's easy to talk to my buddy, my bro, and if he blows me out, whatever, he's like painting houses anyhow. And then, my super successful friend or the guy that sells commercial real estate or the guy that owns 5 car dealerships, wow, I don't know if I want to talk to that person because of how they might respond to us. And see, what we think is the path of least resistance, going down the socioeconomic chain, is actually the path of greatest resistance. It's where we're met with, well, if it's so good, why don't you pay my way in, dude? Or, how much money are you making? Well, when you're making money, then you call me. It's the weird thing some of our friends say to us. And they're like, we tend to get met with this cloud of negativity, of skepticism, not all of them, but that's where we get a lot of it. I've actually find that, and you'll find this, by the way, when you go up the socioeconomic chain once, you're going to realize, oh my goodness gracious, it's way easier up here. It's way easier to recruit good people than it is to recruit somebody that's, and not to say these people aren't good people, I don't want to say that they're not, but a successful person is actually easier to recruit than somebody who isn't. And another thing I find that network marketers do that's pretty interesting is they think that like network marketing is only for people that need the money, right? I've coached a lot of people, I've worked with a lot of people, and they go, well, I'm talking to people that need the money, and they think that, people that are already making money for some reason wouldn't be open to a brilliant business idea. And what you guys have is a brilliant business idea. So you got to wipe your head clean of that and come to the realization that successful people, in fact, the more successful I've become, and all my friends that I associate with that have become more successful in their lives, have become more open to opportunity as their life progresses than closing their eyes and ears to opportunity. So just because someone makes a lot of money, for example, don't, and we hear this a lot of times in network marketing, but we do it. I've done it. Don't prejudge somebody. How many of you have been told in network marketing, don't prejudge somebody? Those you think will, won't. Those you think won't, will. We've all heard that, especially if you've been all those people that have been around 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. These phrases that we hear, those you think will, won't, those you think will, some won't, someone's waiting next, all these things that we hear repeatedly. The reality is successful people are actually way easier to recruit. And I made that mistake. A couple of them, like my buddy Randall Swanson. I was way into my network marketing career. Like I was 16 years into my network marketing career. And this guy who I had played golf with probably like literally 500 times, living in the Pebble Beach area, calls me up one day and he says, hey, do you know Everett such and such? I'm not going to say the guy's last name. And I'm like, yeah, I know that guy. And he said, well, he's on your 6th level and I'm on your 7th. How come you didn't tell me about this? And I thought, all I could say was because I'm stupid. I don't know. I didn't know exactly what to say. I mean, I'm a full-time successful network marketer, and I still prejudge this guy. I thought, man, he's married to like the 4th wealthiest, or the daughter of the 4th wealthiest guy in the state of Texas. And by the way, Texas is a very wealthy state. Actually, he's married to Gordon Gekko. If you guys have ever seen the movie Wall Street, the character that they did him after is her dad. But so here's the thing. Even this guy who's worth like probably close to $100 million, he still did network marketing. But what we have to do, our job is to not judge them and to ask. And I'm going to teach you a couple things tonight. I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to open up your eyes a little bit too, because there's a lot of you that literally have opportunities right underneath your nose that you're not even realizing are opportunities. And I'm going to put it to the test here in a little bit. But, once you understand, first of all, the path of least resistance is not what we think. Like, here's the thing. I discovered this whole method of recruiting up through a really bad day of prospecting years ago. In fact, I'll tell you, and this will give you, it'll start to make your mind start to think about, well, maybe who should I be picking up the phone and calling? Tina's commenting about my lava lamps. I'm a hippie at heart, even though I don't have any hair left on my head. If I could grow it out, I would. But I had one of those bad days of prospecting. I remember I was in Monterey, California. I was making a lot of money, but I had one of those days where everybody I talked to is, and I had been working cold market stuff. I'd been working leads, generating my own prospects, running advertising. This is like pre-internet too. And I was just at the end of the day, and I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. I don't know about you guys. Let me ask you a question, and you tell me if you can relate to this. If you talk to a really kind of lame person, and they're just not motivated, they're negative, they're skeptical, they're not even open-minded, and they're just, you get off the call, you kind of sometimes feel like you almost want to take a shower. Like, I got to go take a bath after that one. And then if they really lay into you, for example, and you're new and you're not used to it, then you're like, holy smokes, I got to go step away from the phone for a little while. It's like, I need to take a little break before I can get back at this, because they leveled me. I've had bad prospects. But then when you get on the phone with somebody who's really awesome, somebody who's really amazing, somebody who's got really fun energy, like the two leaders here that are running this. Tina and Kelly, for example. They're a bundle of fun, aren't they? A bundle of energy. They love to have a good time. If you were to prospect either one of those, can you imagine prospecting Kelly? That dude's laughs, man. He'd have me laughing as my tail off as I'm prospecting, and both of them are like that. And you get off of a phone call like that, and you're like, man, if everybody I talked to sounded like that, I would love to do network marketing even more. And I thought to myself, man, where's all the good people? And I remember I was sitting at my desk, and I've always had these, you can't see my whole desk, but I have this huge, big L-shaped desk. And I was sitting there, and there was a magazine on my desk over here. It was a Homes and Land magazine. And I thought to myself, my goodness, I said, realtors. Pretty much all the realtors I know are pretty outgoing. They work hard. They work on the weekends. They don't punch a time clock. They have to go literally beat the streets for business. And I thought, man, I'm gonna call this person. And I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had butterflies in my stomach, and I thought, man, this is like kind of a straight up. This is like a cold call. This isn't calling a friend of mine. I'm calling somebody who doesn't even know me. And I called this lady, and I said something, and she basically hung up on me. And I was like, that one didn't work. Maybe I had to change that script up a little bit. And I was like, my mouth was getting dry, and I was getting nervous. And then I called this other guy, and I kind of changed what I said. And he said, yeah, I'm open to taking a look at something. I thought, oh man, I better start writing this down. What am I saying to this guy, right? And then I called another female agent that night, and she said yes. So here I am. I don't even know what I'm doing. I got 2 out of 3 people saying yes to me when I'm just testing something out. I got up the next morning, and I started going through the magazine again, and I fumbling all over my words and trying to come up with the right question. And I ultimately, started really getting a lot of attention and getting a lot of people open to taking a look at my opportunity, and started recruiting a lot of people. And actually it became my number one way of recruiting, literally recruiting realtors, which led to mortgage brokers, which led to insurance people, which led to financial planners, which led to small business owners, all of which, by the way, for you guys with the Serbia is a perfect match. A perfect match. There's no better match, really. And look, I got people that use this method that are in nutritional MLMs, that are in skincare, that are in essential oils, that are in travel. But come on, how often do you actually have a product that's so perfectly matched for professionals in business? I mean, it's like a match made in heaven. So I started doing this, and fast forward, I've been teaching on it for a long time. I ended up producing a course on it several years ago called the Insider Secrets Recruiting Professionals course. At the tail end of this, I'll let you guys know about that if you're interested in really understanding how to do this really well. But here's a couple things I want to share with you. Professional people are easier to recruit for a good reason because, again, they're the type of people that roll up their sleeves and they get after it and they go do something. When they set their mind on something, they go do it. Like, think about, here's what I want you to do. Write the person's name down right now that you're most afraid to call. You know who it is because you fear them every night you go to bed. Come on. You go to bed and you're like, I just want to talk to this guy, but I'm so scared. I can't do it. Trump. Oh, jeez. If you have Trump's phone number, I want to call the guy. I mean, I'll pick up the phone and call Donald Trump right now. That would be awesome. Okay, let's not talk about politics. So, especially since I just literally posted a blog post about why you should not talk about politics in business like 5 minutes ago. But so write that person's name down. In my case, it was a guy who was living in Monterey, California at the time. And he owned 5 car dealerships. His name, Joe Cardinale Automotive Group. And this is in Monterey, and we're not buddies. I think I was like, I don't know, 23, 4 maybe, and I purchased a Volkswagen Jetta from the guy. And then I traded that in, bought a Volkswagen Passat. He knew who I was, but I didn't, I never went to his house or anything like that. Guy had 2 private jets, 5 dealerships, super rich guy, nice to me. But I wanted to talk to the guy, and I was so scared to do it. And I finally just figured out, okay, this is the way I'm going to go do it. And this is exactly how that conversation went. So you can do this exact same thing with that person that you fear the most. And I'm telling you, anybody can do this. It's not hard. But so I'm going to set this up. This is how you go talk to a high-level person in your warm market that you respect. And this guy's like a business. So do you think, like, if I was with the Servia back then, like having this guy in all of his car dealerships, can you imagine how good that would be? And then me to be too scared to go talk to the guy, that would be nuts. So I called him up and I said, hey, can I talk to Joe? And I get Joe on the phone and he's like, hey, what's up, Bubba? I don't know why he called me that, but I'll go with it. I remember clearly what he's like, what's up, Bubba? I said, Joe, listen, I'm calling you for a reason. Let me tell you why I'm calling. First of all, I have so much respect for you as a business owner, as a burgeoning, at that time, account executive and doing network marketing part-time. I said, listen, I have a tremendous amount of respect for you. It seems like everything that you do exceptionally well at. I really look to you as a role model in business, and honestly, I aspire to be someday as successful in my life as you've been in yours. And I'm calling you for a reason. Here's the reason. I'm super excited. I just launched into a new business venture that I'm doing. And I would just be really appreciative if you would do me a favor and just take a look at what I'm doing and give me your honest to goodness feedback. Can you do that for me? That's how now that's a very indirect approach for you to talk to somebody that you're scared to talk to by getting their opinion, okay? And anybody who is highly successful, who you look up to, who you respect, and you give them kudos, and it's got to come from the heart. Like, I honestly believed every word that I said when I said that to Joe. And what's he gonna do? Go, screw you, I'm not gonna listen, I'm not gonna look at it? He's like, absolutely. He goes, send me what you got. And I did. And did he join? No, he didn't. But I pulled the trigger and I called the guy and I got him to take a look at my business. Crazy thing is, about 9 months later, he did join another network marketing business. He joined a company called the People's Network. Many of you guys that have been around for, eons in the business remember TPN, which was, personal development satellite television. It was kind of a cool idea in its day. But that's like an idea for you. So if you got somebody that you look up to, now if it's somebody you don't respect and look up to, you probably don't want them in your business anyhow, do you? I mean, then you have to deal with them every single day. And the beautiful thing about this business is we can put in whoever we want to. And here's the other thing I want you guys to think about. The types of professionals that are so perfectly suited are actually pretty easy to find. So, and then, before I even get into that, some of you guys, and this is a thought that it always comes up. This is like the big question that comes up. Well, Todd, Why would a highly successful person listen to me if I haven't made any money yet? This is for you new folks, because I did a bunch. I saw the years, and I saw the people that are brand new, and I understand the insecurities that we have when we're new, and maybe we haven't made any money or we haven't made that much. And here I am. I'm supposed to go talk to this highly successful business owner that I either know or maybe somebody that I don't yet know. You know, why would they ever listen to me? Well, you're not the deal. You're not the issue. You're just the messenger. So when you understand that you're simply the messenger, that it's not about you, the only thing you got to be able to do is be able to summon up enough courage to go in there and ask a question, and to be able to pique their interest, and then let the story of a Servia do the telling and selling for you, right? You don't have to be. You're not the deal. Now I understand. Well, people buy. They buy from. Because they like you and they trust you. I mean, that's obviously an important thing. So you want to be good at building rapport and being the kind of person that's likable. That, do you like people that are always late? Do you like people that are flaky? Do you like people that say that they're going to do things, but then they never do? No, you don't. I mean, you tolerate them. And then ultimately, if they continue to be like that, you just kind of ignore them, right? I mean, that's what we do with people like that. I don't know how you are, but somebody who's flaky and irresponsible and always says they're going to do something and then under delivers. In fact, I'll tell you something real quick. It's kind of off the subject, but it's on the subject. If you make it your mission in life to go the extra mile, to always do more than is expected of you, you can't help but win. You can't help but succeed in anything that you do. If all you do is like whatever, because, think about it. People have an expectation of us with whatever that is, like with, somebody being a visitor at your house, or you're going to, you're going to a restaurant. My expectation is my food's going to come out and it's going to be tasty and it's going to be warm and it's going to come out in a timely manner. But then when it's served with a smile and it's served with a great attitude and the food's delicious and, the manager comes up and says, "Hey, how was your meal? We're so happy you came in." It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, what? Wait, am I on candid camera here? Wait a second. You want to go back in there again. Then you go tell 100 people about it. But then, you go into a restaurant and they way under deliver. I'm not going to tell the full story. I was in a restaurant one time and it was like the most pathetic, worst service ever. And I never yelped anything in my life, but I'm sitting here on my phone with my buddy. We're about to yelp about this restaurant, about how bad it was, until the manager finally came up and saved the day. And had he not saved the day, I would have yelped about it and I would have never gone to that restaurant. Probably told everybody I knew that was ever thinking about going to that restaurant not to go there. So I know we're not in the restaurant business, but you have to be thinking about how you represent yourself in the marketplace. And are you perceived as someone who goes the extra mile and super serves those that you do business with? Okay. A little bit off the subject, but absolutely on the subject. So here's the thing. Some of the best, when it comes to marketing outside of your warm market, I'm going to shift because, I gave you just a little tidbit. I'm going to give you, we got limited time. I can't teach you everything tonight. I'm going to give you as much as I can in the time that we have available so you can take tonight what I've given you and immediately go apply it into your business. So number one, that little approach on recruiting within your warm market. Well, now we got to go into the cold market. So let's say, and I know it's so funny because marketers, and I'm a marketer, a lot of marketers love to make network marketers be afraid of, quote, cold market. And then they want to sell you their package on how to be an attraction marketer. And there's nothing wrong with attraction marketing. I think attraction marketing is great if you can do something to draw people towards you. But hey, you know what? Picking up the phone and calling somebody you don't know is just a friend you haven't met yet. It's just a matter of perception. I got no problem picking up the phone and engaging somebody in conversation I've never talked to in my life because I know what to do and I know how to handle myself on the telephone. And once you do as well, and once you get over the insecure thoughts in your head, you'll pick up the phone and make phone calls to people you've never talked to ever. And you'll be able to crush it, by the way. And you're going to be able to have a distinct advantage over other people that have sold themselves into saying, oh, well, cold market, you don't cold market. You don't pick up the phone and call somebody you don't know. That's craziness. I gotta go put a blog together and a blog post together and do things to draw people to me and wait for the business to come to me. You don't need to wait for business to come to you. In fact, most network marketers that are brand new, you need to take your initiative. You need to do whatever you got to do within legal, moral, and ethical bounds to go build your business. I mean, you got to eat, right? You got to put food in your mouth. You got to put a roof over your head. You got to start profiting in this business. So I got to my first $10,000 monthly check working in a garage. Okay, how did I do it? Because I harnessed something called the power of projection, and I want you to understand this right now. The power of projection is this. Now, first of all, understand I'm in Pacific Grove, California. I'm working in a garage, and it's this moldy single pane windows. It was a great location, but just a crappy little place. But I'm just kind of making my way in my network marketing career, and I'm making phone calls and I'm prospecting, and I'm in there and I'm not calling people and going, hey, is John in? Yeah, hey John, this is Todd Falcone. Listen, things kind of suck right now. I'm working in my garage and I'm trying to actually be able to afford to actually have an office. I would really like it if you joined my business. I didn't communicate desperation, need, beg, plead. I did early on in my career, and I found that did not work, which is how I came to know and understand harnessing the power of projection. Understand this. Write this down. Write it down. Perception is projection. And it's so freaking powerful. I've seen it so many times as an entrepreneur in the last 15 to 20 years. It's mind-boggling. What that means is this. What you project or put out into the marketplace. Okay, let's say in a conversation, what you say, how you look, how you come across with someone, like you're getting to know someone for the first time, you're having a chat with them. It's essentially being projected onto a movie screen in their mind, right? And that movie screen becomes their reality of who you are. So, like if I called somebody and I'm like, and I can't even get it out. What am I projecting? Oh my gosh, this poor kid, he's so scared. He doesn't even stutter, but he's stuttering on the phone with me. I feel bad for him. Versus picking up the phone and I'm like, good afternoon, it's John. And hey, John, Todd Falcone, how you doing? Good, what can I do for you? Hey, John, listen, I was just looking at your for sale sign with Coldwell Banker. Listen, I'm calling you for a very specific reason. I'm in the process of growing my business here locally. I love to work with people in the real estate community. I've got a very simple question for you, John, and that is, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a real estate professional? Now, is that a lot different than, right? Totally different. So I did that, and somebody typed it in there. Nick, I don't have my glasses on. Nicole put that in there. It's act as if, right? And that's so exactly right. It's not fake it till you make it. And I think like I heard fake it till you make it in the 80s, and it was like, and I think that's the way they actually intended it. Like, hey, go get a fake Rolex watch. And I actually bought like some cheap Rolex watch and I put it on there and had a Rolex name on it until some guy goes, hey, dude, Rolex doesn't even make a watch that looks like that. So you're kind of stupid, right? And I was like, oh. And I took it off and I think it broke like the next day or something. But, to me, fake it till you make it. It's more faking yourself out into believing that you can do it rather than faking somebody else out and trying to make believe that you're something that you're not. Like, I got to laugh because like living in Scottsdale, I lived in Scottsdale until like 6-7 months ago. Do you know how many Range Rovers there are that are pulling up to 1-bedroom apartments? It's a joke. It's like I gotta look the part, and then they have to park it 4 blocks around the corner because they can't even make their rent payment. They're definitely not making their car payment. It's stupid trying to fake somebody out. So to me, it's like, how would you act if, right? Nicole was so right on with that. How would you act if you were pick the figure in your mind. 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, whatever that number is for you. How would you act if you're not making any money or very little right now? And I understand because I've been through the ringer in network marketing. I started out broke and insecure and stuttering and scared to talk to people and totally unsure of myself. And then I started to discover that operating and thinking that way wasn't helping me out. So I had to start to think, well, if I was successful, how would I act? Well, I would carry myself a little taller. I would speak a little bit more confidently. I would, I wouldn't, shimmer in my boots if somebody asked me a tough question and that I didn't know. I would just say, hey, John, you know what? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'd be happy to get it for you if you'd like for me to get the answer for you. Rather than like freak out and just be a little bit more calm, cool, and collected. And the thing is, when prospects throw you curveballs, and they always do, like they'll throw you a curveball and you're like, whoa, you don't even know what to do with it. It's okay. Just, gently dodge it, handle it. You don't have to like freak out and go, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to handle that and go into a panic attack like I've done in the past on calls. when you understand the power of projection, it puts you at a distinct advantage. So understand this. What I'm going to go into for the next like 20 minutes or so is this whole idea of recruiting people that are in your backyard and around you and nationally and internationally that you're not even thinking about recruiting, and be able to do so and be able to harness, and for some of you that aren't in the successful zone yet, to be able to harness the power of projection where people on the other side of the phone, they're like, man, this person's got it going on. Even if you don't, even if you're in your garage like I was, right? So some of the best categories, by the way, I've met real estate, insurance, mortgage, finance, small business owners. These are some of the very best categories to target. And what I found specifically for network marketing, now there's two sides of the equation here, right? You guys can go put business owners into this all day long, and they can use this product to grow their business. But the other thing is you want to recruit people that want to do the business as well, don't you? Right? So the thing that I found in terms of the career categories that I personally prefer to call into have four major things in common with network marketing, which is why it makes them easier to recruit. Number one is the number one thing that most of these people do in their daily job or occupation is they prospect, they drum up business, they sell. They're into, creating new customers and new business, right? So, and what do we do in this business? The number one activity that we do in this business. So there are professional categories of people that I prefer not to go after in network marketing as a primary category because they just don't necessarily fit that bill as much as some do. For example, like a real estate professional is the perfect match. Number two is they're paid on production. So these people are used to getting paid on, not salary, not hourly. They control their income through commissions or salary plus bonus, or there's something that they're doing and they chose those occupations. Most of those people chose those occupations because they can control how much they earn, right? That's why somebody becomes a salesperson. You don't become a salesperson because you got nothing better to do. You become a salesperson because you're like, hey, I can make as much money. I get to control how much money I make. If I become a realtor, I can control how much money I make. How do we get paid? You don't get an hourly wage here. You don't get paid anything unless you produce something. So they do what we do. They get paid the way that we get paid. I think to some extent these are individuals that have a moderate to a high tolerance for risk. So like for example, like my buddy who's super wealthy in commercial real estate now, when he started in commercial real estate, he was bartending like 5 nights a week to make ends meet as he was growing his list in commercial real estate. And if he didn't do well, like he wasn't going to be able to eat, which is why he had to bartend at night when he started his career. And I think for us, we're pretty, I think as network marketers, we're kind of risk takers, aren't we? Aren't we like stepping outside the bounds from what most people do or what we thought we were going to do? So they do it. These categories are a perfect match. Like I said, realtors, insurance, small business people. Let me teach you something. There's a thing that I was taught when I was studying neurolinguistic programming, and it's called expanded awareness, operating from a state of expanded awareness. So I want you to do this real quick for a second, and I want you to understand this because this is going to allow you to start looking in your surroundings and be able to see opportunities that are right in front of you that you're not actually recognizing. So the way expanded awareness works, I'm looking right here because I got a camera right there on my computer, right? So I'm gonna actually do this as I'm explaining it. I'm gonna look right in the camera. So what I want you to do is find something, whatever that is. Maybe it's my shiny forehead or something. I'll try not to move around for a second. I'll just kind of stay stable. And I want everybody to participate in this. So I want you to look directly at me, the image of me on your computer. And I want all of your attention to be, even take it right to the middle of my forehead. 100% of your attention is right in the middle of my forehead, like all of your attention. You're looking at me, and 100% of your attention is right on, maybe it's on the tip of my nose. Maybe that's something you can focus on. I got a kind of pointy nose, so maybe you can look at the point on my nose. Now, your 100% of your focus is right there exactly where your eyes are. Now, without moving your eyes, without moving your head, what I want you to do is start taking into your awareness the things that are outside over here. Like I have a diva light that I can see over here. I'm not changing my eyes, but I can see the diva light over here. I can see my other camera that's over here. I can see my bookshelf that's over here. And if I even bring my awareness out even more way over on the periphery, I can see the white door that enters my office. And over here, I can see a whiteboard. And back here, almost even behind me, I can see the window. You guys notice how you do that? Okay? You notice that? So all of a sudden, you didn't move, but you started to take into your awareness all these things that are in your periphery. That's called operating from a state of expanded awareness. And that's really important for you to do as an entrepreneur, and start to not be so this foveal vision where you're so focused on just what's in front of you, so that when you leave your house, in fact, let's do a little test real quick. Let's test it. Can we test it? Can we test it? We can test it. I can't hear you guys. I'm just hoping I'm getting a positive response. I see like 4 people. So, okay. All right. So let me ask a question. I'm going to move something here so I can move my mouse here and do something so I can see everybody. So we're going to do a little test. Actually, no, it's good because you're all on chat. So I'm going to do a little test on chat. Ready? So here's the deal. And this first one's pretty easy. If you own a cell phone, type the word phone in the chat. I think it's kind of ridiculous, but you got to go with it so we can do it. And if you don't own a cell phone, you can type no, and we'll see if there's actually a no. I don't think there probably is. Okay, cool. That's pretty much 100% of the people. Thank you. Now, if you think it's at all possible that within the last 7 days of you living your life, taking the kids to and from school, doing whatever it is you do, running errands, going to the bank, the grocery store, leaving your house, if you think it's at all possible that you've driven by any piece of real estate, any for sale sign for any piece of real estate anywhere, type in home. And then if you didn't say no, if you think you didn't drive by any possible piece of real estate, type in the word no. And I'm seeing pretty much everybody, it's pretty possible that almost 100% of the people on this Zoom have driven by some piece of real estate. Okay. Now, if you called the realtor in that for sale sign and asked that person to take a look at your Acervia business, if you actually called the realtor, I want you to type in yes, otherwise type in the word no. If you called it. Pretty much 80 to 95%. I mean, a lot of times I get 98% of the people. It's pretty much no's across the board. Few yeses. Okay, in other words, you don't see that as an opportunity. Here you are driving by a for sale sign, and you're not even recognizing it as an opportunity. I'm operating in a state of expanded awareness. I see that for sale sign. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's an opportunity. I pick up the phone and I call the realtor. Let me tell you a quick story, and I'll teach you how to do this real quick. Can I do that? Can I do that? Okay, I know I can. I can do whatever I want since I'm running the deal anyhow. So, okay. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to teach you a lesson because you're actually missing more opportunities than Scott. Scott knows what's up. Scott's heard this before. I see that. Okay, so I came home from an event. This is several years ago, coming home from an event. And I'd been out of my house for probably 4 or 5 days. My refrigerator was empty. My mailbox was full. And I literally walk in my house. I drop my bags. I get in my car. I'm leaving my house. And I'm driving down the street. And I'm leaving my neighborhood to go to my little strip center and the grocery store and the post office and all this stuff. Just like we do in life. We run errands, right? And so I'm leaving. And one of the first things I see is a for sale sign for a realtor. And Scott knows this, so I'm going to show it to you, but I keep one of these in my car at all time. I keep a legal pad and pen and paper in my car at all times for this purpose. I literally keep it wedged between my center console and my seat in my vehicle for this exact purpose. So I pull over, I see the for sale sign, I write the realtor's name and phone number down, I put the gas on. I don't go in and tour the house. I don't walk in and serve myself a sandwich. I just write the realtor's name and number down. And then I put the gas in on my car, and then I grab this thing. If you don't see that, that's the cell phone. And this is exactly what happens. I call the realtor. Good afternoon, this is Jan. I'm like, hey, Jan, this is Todd Falcone. How you doing? She's like, great, what can I do for you? I said, hey, Jan, I was just driving by your listing here in Beaver Lake Estates. And she's like, oh, my goodness, are you interested in the home? I said, well, as a matter of fact, it's a beautiful house. I live right down the street. I'm actually an entrepreneur. And I'm calling you for a very specific reason. I'm in the process of growing my business here locally. I happen to do a lot of business with people in the real estate community. I've got a very simple question for you, Jan, and that is, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing as a real estate professional? That's the peak interest question. By the way, that question that I just showed you, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing in the blank profession, is the question. Do not change it. Okay? Here's something I learned a long time ago. If somebody has a way of doing something that works, why in the world would you change it? Why would you take a sit? And I've had people who have purchased my program who decided, well, I don't like realtors, so I'm going to call this professional, and they fall flat on their face. And then they wonder why they fall flat on their face, because you're trying to reinvent the wheel from something that's proven and works. So now what are we doing? We're looking for an open door. I'm driving, and she says, yeah, the question is available on a script, James. I'll talk about that at the tail end of it, and I'll give you guys some access if you want to access the exact how-to A to Z on recruiting professionals. I'm going to work you guys a deal on my recruiting professionals course if you want to up your game in this. But I'm going to give you enough where, like, you guys can figure this out a little bit. I mean, look, here's the thing. One of the things that I do when I train, I don't come and train. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, the tail end of this thing, I'm going to give you an offer where you can grab my Insider Secrets Home Study course if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. But you're going to get enough during the training where you're not going to leave this training and go, man, this guy fluffed me out and gave me nothing, and that was a total waste of my time. I can guarantee you guys have all learned enough right now where if I stop the webinar right now or the Zoom right now, you're like, oh my gosh, this is gold. Okay? So I called Jan. I drive up to my little strip center in Pine Lake. Okay? I'm living in Sammamish, California at the time. I pull up. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm dragging a little bit, so I go into my local coffee shop. I order a green tea. And as I'm waiting for the green tea, I look on the wall, and what's on the wall in almost every coffee shop? They got like a cork board, right? And what's on the cork board other than cork? Business cards, events calendars. Depends on like how they run their little cork board. Some of them keep it like all tight, and some of them just like let people post stuff. Like my gym is like a prospecting haven. Like my gym that I was at this morning, seriously, it's prospecting haven. I'm telling you. And I look up there and I see the three. I'm like, oh, there's a mortgage broker. Oh, there's a realtor. Oh, there's a personal fitness trainer. I grab 3 business cards. I shove them in my pocket. I grab my green tea, and I go next door to my little mailbox place. I grab my mail. I go right next door to from where the mail. It's just, strip center. Everything convenience. I love how convenient it is. So I go up to the QFC, which is a Washington State grocery store chain. I grab my grocery cart. Start milling around through the grocery store, and all of a sudden I look on my grocery cart and there's a little miniature man staring at me. It's not a miniature man, it's an advertisement. And you'll notice if you go into your grocery stores, a lot of these shopping carts have an ad, and most of them are like mortgage, real estate, finance, insurance, and it's this guy named Greg with State Farm Insurance. I'm in the grocery store. I call Greg. I'm like, can I speak with Greg, please? Assistant transfers me over. This is Greg. Hey, Greg, Todd Falcone, how you doing? He's like, what can I do for you? I'm like, hey, I'm looking at you between my tomatoes and my eggs. And he goes, and he started laughing, and he's like, oh, you must be seeing my ad on the QFC shopping cart. I go, I'm in the grocery store looking at your bright, smiling face in QFC right now. I said, listen, if you're running this ad, you're clearly looking to grow your business. Let me ask you a question. Listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I love working with successful people. I've got a very simple question for you. Do you at all keep your options open in terms of making any money outside of what you're currently doing with State Farm? And he's like, as a matter of fact, I do. I ended up scheduling an appointment with them for that following Tuesday morning, and I signed him up on the spot. Now, does that happen every time? No, it doesn't. And by the way, you guys have a twofold benefit that I didn't have because I was marketing a nutritional juice at the time, okay? You have something that helps them make money. So if he says to me, hey, if I said, hey, Greg, do you at all keep your options open in terms of making money outside of what you're currently doing? He said, well, it depends. I said, look, you're running this ad so you want to draw more business. And if I could not only show you how to add a ton of business to your State Farm list and actually create a secondary stream of cash flow, is that something that might interest you? 100% of the people that have a brain in their head are going to say yes to that. How could you say no to that reframe question? It'd be impossible. So anyhow, let's back up. Okay, that's me in reverse for those of us that remember albums back in the day. So I made that call. I set the appointment while I was in the grocery store. I get in my car. What's in my pocket? 3 business cards: personal fitness trainer, realtor, mortgage person. I called those 3 people on the drive home, and 2 out of those 3 said yes to me. So on an errand running session, when honestly, most network marketers aren't doing jack diddly. They're just driving. This is called making use of the crooks and the crannies in your day. Making use of every waking moment. Like today, I went skiing for 2 hours because it's super close to my house and I can. That's right, Jerry. Yes. So when I drove up to Mount Bachelor today, I was on the phone all the way up. When I drove home from Mount Bachelor, I was on the phone all the way back down, maximizing my time. I'll even tell you this, to be honest with you. I did multiple phone calls on the chairlift today because it wasn't snowing. It was warm. I literally probably made 8 phone calls on the chair, 8 different calls on the chairlift. How many of you have prospected from the chairlift or would even think to do it? So, how many of you are going to do something differently tomorrow? Because I just gave you a totally different level of awareness than you had before. See, awareness is the first step towards creating change. You can't change anything until you become aware of it. Now tomorrow, what's going to really make you mad is you're going to see that for sale sign. You're like, Falcone, what did you do to me? Now I got to do something different. And you're either going to do it or you're not. You're either going to go, I'm going to do what this guy told me to do, or I'm going to allow my fears to rule my behavior and my decision making. And if you continue to do that, you're never going to be successful in this business. You got to break free of your fears, man. I was scared to death. I was a stuttering wreck. My heart was pounding. I was a 22-year-old kid when I first started in network marketing. And yes, you do have to get uncomfortable, Becky. You got to stretch yourself just slightly outside of your comfort zone. What might be uncomfortable the first couple calls will make you comfortable after a little bit. I mean, it's a life changer. It's unbelievable how much opportunity is underneath your nose that you're not even seeing. I mean, I'm on an errand running session. I made 5 phone calls on an errand running session, but I can guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you, 99% of other network marketers are just driving. Now, I understand for all of you safety experts, be safe. Stay safe. You know, if you're like driving and you can't drive and talk at the same time, then don't do it, because I don't need somebody calling me saying, hey, it's Falcone's fault. I got in a car wreck because of you. I mean, most of us have made phone calls. Do it hands-free. I've taken, I helped a guy make 10 grand a month in his car who came to me and he was about ready to quit his network marketing business, Mark Weezer. This guy was calling me to give me an exit interview. He's quitting he was like, Todd, I'm quitting. Most people don't call and tell you they're quitting. They just cancel their auto ship. And I taught the guy, I go, why are you quitting? He goes, I don't have any time. He goes, I'm very involved in my church. I work 70 hours a week. I got a 2-hour commute. I'm like, what? What'd you say? You got a 2-hour, you're in your car an hour a day each direction? He goes, no, I'm 2 hours into work and 2 hours home. I'm going from Riverside to downtown Los Angeles. You're in your car for 4 hours a day? What are you doing? I'm listening to talk radio. Oh, no, not anymore. This is like 1990. When did I meet Mark? I think I met Mark in 1996 in my organization. And think about how expensive were cell phones. Like 1996. Oh my goodness. I said, listen, tell you what, I'll commit to you. You commit to me. You get your prospect list ready the night before. You tape it on your dash in as big of letters as you need, and you max out your cell phone minutes, and you call people on the way into work, and you call people on the way home from work, and I will be there to support you on 3-way calls. That guy, we took him from zero, from quitting, to over 10 grand a month in less than a year, 100% in his car. He went on to the next year, somebody do the math for me because I'm not a mathematician. He sponsored over 250 people personally the next year. What is that? What's an average of? How many is that a month? 250 divided by 12? Some math major, give it to me. Come on now. Let's see the chat. Come on. What is that? What is that? Come on. 20 a month. I couldn't even keep up with the guy. One of the reasons, by the way, I'll tell you this. He asked me one day, he said, how? He goes, because he's getting ready to, can I go full time yet? He's like at 20 grand a month or something before he finally went full time. I'm like, yeah, Mark, you can go full time. And he goes, because he was scared. He was at a job for 17 years. I'd be scared too, leaving a job I had been at for 17 years, and I'm finally starting to make money in network marketing. And he goes, how many hours a day do you work? And I go, I work 27 hours a day, brother. And I think he kind of took me literally, like, you got to sleep, right? You got to rest a little bit. But he like outproduced me. He was the #1 recruiter in that business. He went on to the juice company that we were in, was making like $50,000 to $60,000 a month in that deal. And, you know, it's just about how you guys look at, you know, your situation. So, I mean, I could go on for hours tonight, and I'd love to, but we don't have that time. I'm going to I mentioned something to you guys. I'm going to give it to you. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. If you want, you can. That's fine. I'll be fine either way. But you'll be a lot better off if you understand how to do this method, okay? I have a course. It's called the Insider Secrets to Recruiting Professionals Home Study Course. I'm going to give you a website. Somebody please type it for me. It's toddfalcone.com, TODDFALCONE.com/recruit up. RECRUITUP. That's the site. It's a special site for you guys tonight. That's it right there. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you. So all the details are on that page. Now, here's the thing. I'm doing a webinar in 9 minutes that you guys, I'm not going to invite you to because you guys got enough tonight. The people that are going to be on my webinar tonight, which is on recruiting professionals, aren't going to get the same deal that I'm going to give you now. They're going to pay $100 more than what you're going to pay if you decide to do it. So there's a huge discount on it. It includes the full home study course, instant digital delivery. It includes a downloadable resource guide so you to follow through on the, you know, you can follow through the whole program, take notes. I give you a search training where I show you how to find these people regionally, nationally, internationally. It works in every country. I got my friend Andrew Eaton out of South Africa. He's recruited over 250 people doing this on LinkedIn. I watched him do it right in front of my face while I was with him in Cape Town, South Africa. I was just with them last month. I did a speaking event in Johannesburg. I mean, he's crushing it. So I think the value on the whole package, if you look at the page, is about $5,000. I retail it most of the time. I retail for about $500. Tonight, you guys get it for $297 if you want to get it. Okay. I guarantee everything I do. 100%. You get it. You don't like me. Like you thought I was funny tonight and you enjoyed me, but then I suck on audio. Or you didn't think there was value in it, I'll refund your money. I've been speaking full-time for 15 years. What am I going to do? Go get a job? Quit being a speaker and a trainer? I can't. I mean, I'm here for life, man. This is what I do. So I stand behind 100% behind what I do. I know for a fact that if you start to apply what you're doing and what I teach in that, you will kill it with the Serbia. This team will be the biggest, most rocking team in the entire company. I got another friend of mine, Jeff, who lives over in Colorado. Oh my gosh, this guy is like, so he's been a realtor for a while and wanted to get out of real estate. I'll just say he's with the travel network marketing company. He's recruiting realtors locally. And I talked to him a few weeks ago. I called him, we had a little chat. I wanted to catch up with him. He's recruiting, and when he goes and he does it, he sits down with people. Now he's in a travel deal. Travel, selling, they got valuable stuff. He's selling a travel deal to realtors, which is cool. It's a high value travel deal, whatever. But you guys are taking a device that you can bring to the realtor that the device itself helps them make more money, and the opportunity behind it. So it's a double-edged sword that very few people in network marketing have. And he's going down, and I talked to him. He's like, dude, I'm closing like 50 to 75% of the people that I'm sitting down with, I'm putting into the travel deal. I'm like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what if the product was actually something that helped them make money? How good would that be, right? Okay, I get a little excited. Sorry. Let me take a deep breath for a second. Hold on. Yeah, I'm good. All right. No, look, I love having this is fun for me. This subject is ridiculously fun for me. Oh, I do have to say one thing on the page, and I had to do it because that page is a live page that other people have access to. I changed the price on it with my assistant earlier today. So that price that you're seeing on that page, and there's a clock on it. I think it's like a 60-minute clock. So you got to go within like 60 minutes of watching what we're doing here to get it for $297. Otherwise, if you go back after 60 minutes, it's probably going to pop back up to $397 or $497. I don't know what's going to pop to. I got my tech people are on that. So there's a little countdown clock. And again, you got nothing to worry about anyhow. Go buy it. You got nothing to lose. Dig into it. Use it for 30 days. Here's what you're going to do. Actually, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go buy the product. You're going to start listening to it. You're going to start applying it into your business, and you're going to sell so many darn goes that you're going to call me up and say, Falcone, that was the greatest training I was ever on. Can I give you more money? I'll volunteer to give you more money because I'm making so much money in a Serbia right now. I don't need that, but I'll be fine. toddfalcone.com/recruit up. Go to the page. Go get the Recruiting Professionals course. You guys are such a fun group. I hope I can come back again and serve you. I love you guys. I can serve you. Oh my gosh, I can serve you.
Todd, don't leave yet. Don't leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm just gonna say, people always ask Tina and I all the time, like, how do you guys get to where you're at? How do you do this? How do you do that? And it's unfortunate you can't see us on the screen because, and either back in the day you use that spray-on stuff, or I'm looking at how to win in the game of prospecting. And, you have a lot more hair there. So you've been doing this for a little bit there, Todd. But, you also have little black book of scripts. Something that, we've gone through, we've read, we use your stuff. I always tell people that constantly be educating yourself, looking for ways to get better. Tina and I definitely do that. All the time, consistently. And, your stuff that you've had in the past is just as good to me as the stuff that you have now. And, you want to add anything before?
Yeah, like I had said, sorry, I'm typing your thing again. Like I had said before, I've done I did your A-team. It was incredible. Like, talk about like a kick in the butt in a great way, because it really makes you accountable to your daily activities and what you do every day and how many people you talk to. And then you partnered that up with your little black book of scripts. I used to think that having scripts was not good, because the minute you say one thing and then they say something you're not expecting, you get lost, right? So I was a big not script person until I actually read your book, and it's dog-eared and highlighted, and like I've had it for probably 5-6 years. It's one of the very best network marketing things I've ever read. I mean, if the most shyest person in the world could pick that up and talk to anybody that walks within 3 feet of them, it's a fantastic tool.
And can I ask you a question, Todd?
Yes, for sure.
When you got started in network marketing, were you just like an instant, superstar like you are now? Or, give us a time frame of what happened when you got started.
You want me to tell you the real story real quick?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, first of all, you guys are so cool. I love you. I mean, just such great energy. You guys are the epitome of like, let's go get it done and let's have a blast. I mean, seriously, you guys are so amazing. So, so when I started in network marketing, I got introduced in 1989. I was going through career fair at school. I was getting all excited to, find my career path. And some dude called me using a script. And he said, hey, my name's Jim. I'm calling you from Orange County Marketing Group. We're a marketing company. We're looking for people that can train and manage others in the expansion of our company. I thought, well, yeah, let's go. I mean, where do I sign up? I was looking for a job, and I ended up in a business opportunity meeting. I didn't even know what a business opportunity meeting was. I didn't know what multi-level was. Didn't know what network marketing was. I was 22 years of age, living in Southern California. I went to that meeting. I saw it. I saw 10 grand a month and no boss. I thought, wow, that's pretty awesome. And that's as far as I could see. And I gave him my credit card, and I gave him I literally maxed out my college credit card on one purchase. I gave him $500, and then they loaned me $500 on a convenience charge at 28.99%. And I bought $1,000 water filters. And so, and can you believe that? Like, here, we'll give you a convenience charge. It's only 29% interest, and you can buy some extra water filters. So that's how they did it back in the day. And I drove home and I called my mom up, because I'm the first kid graduating from college, and I was really excited to share with her. And I called her up. I said, Mom, I found my career path. She's like, oh my gosh, you did? What are you doing? I said, I went to this meeting and they were talking about you can recruit people and they can recruit people and you can build a team. She's like, oh my God, you're in a pyramid scheme. That's a cult. If you do that, I'm going to make you pay back every last dollar of your college education, my Sicilian firecracker mother, right? And but I did it anyway, because she wasn't in the meeting. I was. I saw it. It made sense to me. And so I started that journey, and I immediately was like, I'm going. Let's go. I paid attention. I showed up for the Saturday training. I wrote down my list. I started calling people, stuttering all the way through it, scared to death. And like 90 days into my business, I quit my job. I was selling cable television in Spanish door to door. You guys saw me do that little spiel when I was at your event in Miami, where I still have that script memorized. Hola, yo soy de cable televisión. Vamos a venir a todas las personas aquí con el cable de emoción de prueba. I can still do that script 30 years later that I memorized. It was the first script I ever memorized about selling. I quit that job that was bringing me $1,000 a week, working 3 nights a week, 3 hours a night. because I thought I was going to be making 10 grand a month in my network marketing business. Nobody told me that was going to happen fast, but I thought it was going to happen overnight. So that all the money that I had that was actually paying me and then some. Can you imagine, 22-year-old kid? I was making $4 grand a month as a 22-year-old kid, and I dropped it all, thinking I was going to be rich in network marketing. And I wasn't, and I struggled, and I was like making nothing, and I was like having to eat top ramen and try to sell a water filter on the weekends to make money. You know, I was taking into people's houses and doing demonstrations just to make enough money so I could make some cash, and I ran out of cash, and then I had to go move home at my mom's house. Can you imagine? 24 months later, my mom, who thought I was in a pyramid scheme and told me if I do that, I'm going to make you pay back the college education, I now have to go move home in the bunk beds where my brother was sleeping. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is talk about humbling. I had to cut up my credit cards, go to consumer credit counseling, regroup. But man, I had a network marketing bug. So within like 90 days, I found another network marketing company. And it was so bad that I had to have my product and my check shipped to my friend's house, because if my mom found out I was doing network marketing, I would have been kicked out of the house. And that time I came back with a little bit more maturity, part-time, didn't quit my day job, proved it to myself that it worked, and just kept on trucking, and the rest is history.
That's a great story.
What an awesome story, Todd. So
yeah, truth right there.
That little meeting you went to didn't happen to have a Kenny Loggins video or Kenny Loggins
yes,
song?
It did.
Oh,
yes, it did.
I think we saw that same meeting.
Actually, you know what? That's the same company, same organization, but that was before Kenny Loggins. So that was before the second company that he launched.
Yeah, so the one I sat in, I literally thought the world was going to end. And somehow selling water filters was going to save everybody. And it didn't, but it was a great video. It was a great video.
Yeah, no, that guy was before his time, very powerful. I learned a lot. Honestly, the first 2 years of education that I got from that first opportunity is what propelled me to probably stay in network marketing. I learned a tremendous amount about being successful and treating it as an entrepreneur, treating with ownership and showing up and going the extra mile and having a positive attitude, even if your house is falling around all around you. So, I mean, it's been an amazing journey. It's like it's my 27th year in the network marketing profession. And, I found a few things that have worked for me. I mean, this whole idea of recruiting professionals, when I got onto that, I was like, man, this is it. Like, I worked 11 years. I was with a lead generation company. 11, it was a network marketing lead generation company that was kind of at their time before their time. And I worked a lot of purchase cold market leads, and I recruited a lot of people. But when I started learning how to recruit professionals, that's when it was all over for me. And it took a little while. I mean, it was a pretty long learning curve for me to really master this whole idea of recruiting up the socioeconomic chain. So you guys, I would really encourage you. I mean, it's $297. I understand it's a stretch for some of you, but it's worth every penny of it, because you're going to figure out how to do this and you're going to apply. I mean, it's just so fun recruiting up. Oh my goodness. I mean, why would you want to recruit down? You'll never recruit down after this. You'll have so much fun talking to people, because successful people are fun to talk to, period.
And, and we, I'm sure Big Al.
Oh, well, very well. Yep.
Well, he spoke to us last weekend at Atlanta, and he gave us such a great tip for talking to people, because he said your product is so stupidly easy. It's for everybody. I know in network marketing people like to say my product is for everybody, but this really is a product that any business, any service, anybody can use. And Big Al said, you walk into a restaurant, a pizza place, you walk into one of these brick and mortar businesses, and you just say, hey, looks like you got a client, a lot of people walking around outside. And they go, yeah. You go, would it be okay if I showed you how to get them inside?
Wow, that's powerful.
And they go, yeah, great. If I told you all it took was for you to put this little go on your front window and broadcast your business message with a coupon on it to everybody who walks by, would that be all right? I mean,
done.
Right? Is not that the easiest script you've ever heard?
Done. Super easy.
So we have an extra benefit, because we know how important it is. We like to say network marketing is basically self-development with a pay plan attached.
Yeah.
Because, self-development and learning the new tools and learning skills is so crucial to your business. So we want to encourage everybody to get one of, whether it's the Recruiting Up or the Little Black Book of Scripts, whichever one is what you need for your business right now. Todd's going to give us an email of all the people that place orders, and we're going to send 3 of you to Las Vegas for 2 nights and 3 days. So Todd's going to send us the emails of all the orders. We will randomly pick 3 people, and you'll have a nice long vacation in Vegas so you can spend some time with your new book or your new CD.
And prospect everybody there, of course, too.
That's very generous of you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited because we know how important it is, to learn more and to have the skills you really need to build this business. You need to do some research, and who better to listen to than somebody as old as Todd? 27 years in the industry, right? He's got to be doing something right.
I'll be 51. I'll be 51 on Wednesday. So
wow. That's old.
Flying to Kauai to go speak in Kauai that weekend. On my birthday, I fly to Kauai. So
that's awesome. Well, we so appreciate you coming and spending time with us tonight. It means a lot to us. I know it means a lot to our team. We've got 118 people who jumped on this, can hardly wait to hear every word. So we're so grateful for you, Todd, and we look forward to spending time with you and seeing you soon. And I'm going to type in the message box one more time, Todd's website. And then I'm also going to put it in our team chat, guys. So all of you that are on the Team Go Big or Go Home Facebook page, I'm going to put all his information in there as well. So you've got it all handy, and you can go right to his website and order those books.
Yeah, real quick on the book, the Little Black Book of Scripts is on my site at toddfalcone.com. So if you just want to get the script book, you go to toddfalcone.com, click on products, and scroll down that page, and you'll see the script book right there.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Todd. We totally appreciate you. Have an awesome birthday.
Thank you, guys. You're awesome as well. What great energy, such a fun group, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys soon.
You are the best.
Thank you, guys. You're awesome. Thank you.
See y'all soon.